everybody, it's Jordan. I'm standing here in the garage and I'm next to my Strom that I recently purchased, as most of you know. And I'm here because I'm getting ready to do the first really mod to the motorcycle, and it is Barkbusters for some wind protection for your hands. That's one of the biggest things I noticed on my first few rides on the bike. I've only ridden the bike 3 or 4 times, but so far I love it. Definitely have some things issues I want to fix, like the wind protection for your hands. So let's get right into it. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about first. Okay, so on my old Gixxer, you can see how the fairing kind of comes around and the handlebars stick out a little bit, but for the most part your hands actually stay behind here and wind kind of deflects around your hands. So on this motorcycle it was never really an issue, but on this one it is. You can see how it comes around and then the handlebars stick out so much farther that your hands just get all the blast of wind. And obviously, to warm your hands up, you could get heated grips, but the first thing I'm going to do is try Barkbusters for wind deflection. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is remove the old bar weights, or the thing that sticks out of the end of your handlebars. I think for some people this can probably be kind of hard, but for me it was super easy, probably because the bike's brand new and the rubber is still, I don't know, kind of soft or something. But anyways, I didn't even need a screwdriver on the end. I just turned it like that and it loosened up. You don't want to turn it too far because there's a nut in there and all of the internals will not come out if the nut gets disconnected. So you just want to loosen it up a little bit and then pull it and wiggle. There it starts to come. Okay, so there you can see all the rigging. It's got a nut here that when you twist this, the nut will squeeze in and it'll expand that rubber out into the bar, and that's what holds that in. Okay, so this is roughly what they're gonna look like installed. This kit is for a Strom, but it's kind of a universal kit and can also be used with other ones. This is basically what your assembly is going to look like. Then a spacer, and then that, and then this nut has little wings on it, and that's what grabs onto that when you screw it in. And it'll make that expand just like the stock handlebars were. That's about what the clamps are going to look like. They do come with instructions, but they're, be honest, they're pretty generic. It shows you the assembly for each one. Here's the V-Stroms down here. They do have a materials list with everything. Make sure there's a couple different bolts that are different sizes that kind of look the same, so make sure the ones you're using are the right ones. And you do need, for this kit, you need a 5mm Allen, and I think it's a 10mm for the nut that goes right on here. Next step is to get them on the bike. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna pull it up here and see what it looks like and try to figure out where on the handlebars we're gonna actually connect to. It's looking like down here there is the wire loom that comes out for all the switches. I think I'm going to put it right there, so I'm going to have to cut that zip tie. Okay, so zip tie is cut. We're going to slide this in. I think this will go down in between. Oh, the wires and the clutch cable. It's going to be just about like that. There's a lot of adjustment in that. You just have to, this piece you can flip around different ways to get it to fit just right, like that. Okay, so now we've moved on to the right side. The left is done and on and good. I fiddled with it a little bit to try to get it just right. Same thing on this side. We gotta cut the zip tie holding the wires from, let's see, it'd be the taillight switch, the kill switch, and the starter button. And I think this is just gonna go right under here and tuck really snugly underneath the brake fluid reservoir. Okay, so I had to work on it a little bit, but here's the right side. That's how that mounts. And the left side, everything is tight on there, good. I was not really able to get them at the right height because this side's a little bit higher than the left side because I can't drop it because it hits on that brake line, and then this side I can't really raise it because it's already rubbing on the clutch cable, so they're not quite the same height, but they look pretty good. We're going to get the plastics on next and we'll be done. Okay, so here are plastics. Here's the left side. This is going to go on like this, and you can see there's a hole right there. There's 2 screws in the kit. One has a big head on it. That one goes right there, and then on the back side it's got spots right here for screws, and it's got one of these little brackets that will go on the aluminum piece like that, and fit right in like that. Right there. Kind of see it. Full range for the clutch. Nothing's too tight. Nice and sturdy. Plastic fits on there good. Boom. Alright guys, well here's the finished product. Everything fits nice and tight, really good. Sorry about the noise, by the way. I got the heater going because we're out in the garage and it is January. As you can see, the levers do not hit. That is going to provide a lot better wind protection for my hands. And it definitely kind of finishes off the bike, gives it a good look. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care, we'll see you next time.